Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LiveStream on the Moonshine number 282 tonight. I want to go ahead and welcome you back to my videos if you're watching this over on my YouTube channel. Guys, we're back with the third part of Stellar version 1.0. It's been a very, while maybe not the most unpredictable writing, maybe not the most gripping writing I've ever read in a book or visual novel to date. What I can say for this visual novel is it has made me laugh. It has been extremely adorable, if I could use that word. And it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun reading this visual novel so far. I just wanted to wait to get a night off so I could do LiveStream of the Moonshine and continue this very fun, very entertaining visual novel. Now, it is about a young lady named Sadie who is in high school, and she is in love with a video game character named Eugene. Eugene Failure. Failure is spelled interesting, by the way. Kind of weird that his name is Failure, but how it's spelled is unique. Anyway, she's in love with this video game character. She thinks he's just the coolest dude ever. She has posters on her wall, everything of this video game character. And what do you know? She goes to school one Monday morning after staying up too late on this very game, tired, and in homeroom, the teacher announces a new student is at school. Kind of cheesy, kind of predictable. Man, it's been fun. And of course, this new student is none other than the Eugene Failure that she loves from the video game. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's on Earth to try to figure out what's going on with his home planet where he's originally from, the home planet that he plays on in the video game and stuff like that. And he's on Earth looking for answers, and she's made a deal to work with him to find answers as well. So they're both wanting answers, and the last episode, the last half of it was her introducing Mr. Eugene Failure to her best friends since kindergarten, Grace, and then what was her... Oh, what was the other girl's name? The blonde. I know Grace was she's kind of really chirpy, really kind of talks a lot, was Grace, dark-haired gal. And Scarlet. Scarlet, I believe, was her blonde friend. And she's been friends with both of them since, like, kindergarten. So they're really tight friends. And that was just a lot of fun, her introducing Eugene to them. They didn't really know that much about the video game she played, so she thought. But Grace, in the last episode, towards the end of the last episode, kind of called her out and said, wow, this guy resembles the video game character that you are in love with a lot, or something like that. You know, and teasing her about it. So it was a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into Stellar version 1.0. We're trying to keep every episode about an hour or around there, so that people don't get tired of listening to them for hours on end, like so many book and visual novels in the past where I've ended up reading for like 3-4 hours. Yeah, I'm getting old, guys. I just can't do 3-4 hour readings anymore. I don't know why. No, I think it's probably better to break them up anyway. So we're going to go ahead and continue with this super fun little visual novel, guys. This visual novel is only 99 cents on Steam. On my YouTube video, I'll have the link to go purchase it should you want to try it yourself. It looks like it's a pretty, they call it kinetic visual novel, so it doesn't look like I have tons of choices. But yeah, it's been fun. So let's go ahead and jump back into it. Alright, so the rest of the school day went by so fast that by the time I got to 8th period, I felt just a little bit dazed. I didn't want to go outside in the rain for the fire drill, but I didn't have the brain capacity to do math right now either. Yeah, I think it said before that she's not really good at math. One of our weaker subjects, I think. When the alarm finally sounded 15 minutes into the period, it was welcomed with open arms from me. The students around me groaned and picked up their rain jackets, and others just snatched their phones off their desks. I grabbed my umbrella from the backpack's side pocket along with my phone. and followed my classmates out the door onto the school's football field. This fire drill was a mess. Hundreds of kids hunched over in the rain, squinting through large droplets of water coming down from the heavens to figure out where they were required to stand. Okay. I swear I bumped into another person a dozen times, and every time I muttered sorry, even though I'm pretty sure it was impossible to hear over the student chatter and the rain slamming against the concrete sidewalks. I wondered where Eugene was. What could he be thinking at this very moment? Was he fascinated or disgusted by this mess? I lined up on the 50-yard line in the football field with the rest of my class and immediately began scanning the area for Eugene and the umbrella that I had given him just this morning. I finally spotted him on the other side of the football field, and I tried to wave at him. He saw me just in time and waved enthusiastically back, which told me everything I needed to know about what he thought of it all. I smiled, elated that he was enjoying all this. I bet he hadn't experienced rain in a very long time. I held my hand just outside the circumference of my umbrella, letting a few drops cascade onto my skin. Eugene really had me appreciate things I hadn't appreciated before. That's cool. Alright, let me do something real quick, guys, before we get more music. Let me go ahead and go into the settings. I know I tried to adjust this last time, but again, listening back to the video, it seemed like the music was almost... you couldn't hear it in the video. So I'm going to turn down my headset just a tad, turn these up, and I hope you can hear these without them muffling my voice. So we're going to go back. Alright. Oregon gets buckets of rain every year. It was nothing new. However, around Eugene, it was like I was experiencing it all for the very first time in my whole life. The thunder. Suddenly, a loud boom sent a shock straight through my skull that rattled my thoughts. Some other students and I started looking around, wondering where the sound came from. At first, I thought it may have been thunder, but that's when I saw something of interest. An unfamiliar figure was in the distance, and they had begun to walk towards the middle of the field. I squinted through the sheets of water to try to make out who it was as they got closer. Uh-oh. This is a very dark-looking guy. Look at that sword. That's a fancy-looking freaking sword, too. Purple eyes. The man looked to be about 6'3", around 19 or 20 years old. He was carrying a menacing purple sword. Yeah, exactly, that's what I was saying. That was pulsing with prime iridian energy. Oh, wow. So this tells us that he has to do something with a video game. This has to be something with a video game that Eugene's from. He had medium-length black hair that framed his face perfectly, and I lost count of how many piercings he had. His ears were completely covered, and he had an eyebrow piercing that complemented his other eyebrow that had 2 slits in it. Yep, the eyebrow piercings. His eyes were almost as striking as Eugene's, of a violet color that matched his weapon perfectly. Well, that's funny. He walked with confidence, like he owned the whole world. Every step he took felt like he was placing his claim on the very ground that he stood on. It sent a cold chill down my spine. I watched him stroll towards the center of the field, and all eyes were on him. I could imagine why. A couple of teachers tried to approach the man to question him, but before they could even reach him, he had whirled the sword over his head and stabbed it straight into the ground. Well, at least he didn't stab it right into the teachers trying to approach him, right? I mean, we can all be thankful for that. It emitted what felt like a high-magnitude earthquake, and I almost fell over from the ground shaking so violently. Damn! Oh, wow. That's pretty cool looking. Almost instantaneously, all the lights in the vicinity went out. I immediately knew what was happening right then and there. He was the Solstice soldier from Stellar, and he had just stolen all the electricity in the area to power up his weapon. Oh damn. I wanted to just vomit. Someone was going to die. I saw the girl next to me grab her phone from her pocket to start recording, or maybe call the cops. But her battery life was drained completely. Uh-oh, no video recordings from cell phones up on YouTube, huh? It always works like that. Every time you get something cool or a UFO or an alien life form coming onto Earth, you know, something always happens so that we don't have proof of such events. I'm just saying. His crazy, powerful sword takes battery life as well. I should have guessed. I immediately snapped my attention back to the man, and he had pulled the sword out of the ground and was now holding it over his head. The light from the weapon was almost enough to light up the dark football field completely. It was blinding. I shielded my eyes along with everyone else next to me. It was silent, but our collective shock had never been so loud. Kylie is his name, huh? My name is Kylie Pierce, and I am a Solstice soldier from the planet Malian. You've unlocked a journal entry, okay? Kylie goes on to say, I have come to this world to look for Eugene Failure. Tell me where he is, or someone will die today. Oh, damn, he means business. Concerned murmurs erupted in the crowd. Oh my god, yeah, I can imagine. I could hear my own heartbeat in my eardrums. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. What should I do? Can I even do anything? I don't want to be a bystander, but what the hell am I supposed to do against someone with a mega powerful alien sword? I swallowed. I looked around anxiously for Eugene, but I couldn't find him anywhere now. My anxiety increased. I know he's here. Don't lie to me. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. The silence was deafening. No one dared to utter even a word. Where are you, you coward? Yeah, that looks like an evil face. Look at those eyes. Kylie's voice pierced through the silence like an arrow through its target as he pointed his sword at a couple of students, who flinched violently in response. More silence followed. Kylie then chuckled, shaking his head in disappointment. Fine then. Guess I'll have to make you show yourself. Before anyone could even react, Kylie had swung his sword at the closest person next to him, which happened to be a senior boy who I had seen in the halls from time to time. I heard someone scream, "No!" at the top of their lungs, and tears rushed to my eyes at the speed of light. Yeah, this is not good, guys. He's swinging his sword at a high school senior? However, before Kylie's sword could meet with the senior boy's flesh, I saw a bright pink light just zoom out over the side of the field, clashing with Kylie's weapon, and saving the boy's very life. Well, I think we already know who this is, since we see the pink, and we know that Mr. Eugene Failure has pink eyes. What a frickin' hero, right? Da-da-da-da-da-da! Eugene had entered the battle! Okay, so it's going ahead and bringing us to our journal. Battle tutorial. Hey, player, welcome to your first battle. To truly understand the ins and outs of dueling with Solstice, Sadie's journal has the information you need to make sure you can defeat your powerful opponents to the best of your ability. The battles against the evil Solstice are actually pretty simple. You'll be using your player knowledge to conquer our adversaries. Player knowledge is based on the plot of Stellar's story so far, so it's going to make sure you've been paying attention. During battles, you'll be asked a question based on the story. Answer it correctly, and your allied character will score a hit on your enemy. If you answer it incorrectly, your enemy will instead score a hit on your allied character. Think of this as trivia. Wow, I like it. Your allied character's health, stats, and weapon type will always be seen at the top left of your screen, while your opponent's health, stats, and weapon will always be seen at the top right. There will be 10 trivia questions in total for this particular battle. Depending on the opponents, you may be faced with more questions. To access information or tutorial on a battle, click on the journal icon right under your allied character's icon at the top left of the screen. If you would like to view this battle's information, click on the info button to the right. In this battle, you will aid Eugene against Kylie with your player knowledge. Best of luck, player. Alright, so we got a rainy day battle. Eugene Failure versus Kylie Pierce. We have 5 health. Our opponent has 5 health. We have the Last Hope of Infinite Trials weapon, and he has that super cool purple weapon called La Espada Morada. Alright. Wow, okay. Let's go. This is gonna be fun. Are you ready, player? I'm ready. Let's do this. Good luck. First question. Are we ready, guys? Who is the leader of Solstice? We know it's not Grace Vaughn. That's our friend. So we can rule out Grace Vaughn. Multiple choice. As I always called this in high school, multiple guess. Jericho Adler? Milo Adler? Man, I honestly don't remember. I remember mentioning both of these guys, but my gut instinct, what I think I remember is Milo is the leader. Let's try that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. I mean, I hope I'm right. And I hit him. Yes, correct. Kylie has lost a health point. At first I thought it hit me. I was like, oh shit. Okay, so we got a hit because we got the correct answer. Great job, player. Keep it up. Now, Jericho was important as well, but I don't remember exactly what his role was. Ready for the second question? What is Eugene's sword called? It's called the Last Hope of Infinite Trials. We just read that. And again, Eugene is such a hero and gets another hit on Kylie. There we go. Wow, you're a natural at this. Third question. What is the energy called that is shared with Eugene and Kylie's swords? Well, we know that is the Prime Iridian energy. And again, we get another hit because I am so good at this and I'm paying so much attention. Yay, you're doing amazing! Look at his face. Fourth question. What planet is Eugene from? It is Malian, I believe. Adoni is a solar system that he's from, if I remember right. Oh, we missed that one! Eugene has lost a health point. I guess it's Adoni. Okay. Malian must be the planet he's from. And Adoni, that's right, Adoni is the planet that Eugene's from. Okay. Well, we had to make this interesting, right? That's the planet Kylie is from. Don't get them confused, okay? Yeah. Okay, so Malian is the planet that Kylie's from. We're from Adoni. Okay. Fifth question. What school did Eugene attend in the open world RPG Stellar? Oh my god. New Dawn University. I think it was Meadows High School? It might be Stellar. I think it was Meadows, though. Well, Meadows High School is probably the school we're at now. Actually, I think it was Stellar Academy. I think it was Stellar Academy. Let's hope I'm right. Yes, we were right. Correct, Kylie has lost a health point. Incredible. He's almost done for. Next question, are you ready? Who is the king of Malian? This might be Jericho. I don't remember who Jericho was, but I remember reading the name Jericho, so I'm going to go with that. And we got it. Yeah, I can think after the educated guesses. I'm kind of paying attention enough to where I remember a little bit. Eugene outmaneuvered Kylie and landed a fatal blow, piercing his sword straight through Kylie's stomach. Oh man, that's bloodier than I thought it would be. I've never heard so many people gasp and scream all at once. We all stared in horror as Kylie bled out more and more pixels. He's bleeding out pixels, gasping for air. The pixels were abnormally moving against gravity, and it just sprung up a million more questions inside my head. It was also astonishing to see pixels in real life. Yeah, I can imagine that would be pretty weird. I felt like I was in some movie. None of this even feels real. I really, really want to just cover my eyes. I hadn't seen this much blood in my entire life, and the effect of being a bystander to all of this was really starting to make me feel guilty now. I didn't want to watch, but I watched anyway. Oops. Let's return. I accidentally hit the right mouse button. Sorry about that. Kylie then disappeared completely, along with the sword, into pixels that floated off into the wind like nothing had ever even happened. There was almost no trace of him left at all. I didn't know whether to start sobbing or to cheer. That would be very awkward for sure. You definitely feel like you were dreaming, I think. Everyone was simply stunned at what had just happened, and no one moved despite the danger being over. All 1,500 people at Meadows High School were staring at Eugene in either awe, fear, thankfulness, or a combination of all of them. Eugene made eye contact with me, and once he saw my face, he practically sprinted towards me despite the fact that he too was bleeding out pixels from his left cheek and his right shoulder. Yeah, remember we got hit once, so he's bleeding as well, bleeding pixels out. Wow. He held my face, looking right into my eyes. Beatty, are you okay? Eugene looked and sounded extremely worried. I couldn't reply to his question because I really didn't know the answer. I just saw a person get murdered right before my very eyes, but that person was also an evil Solstice soldier. On top of that, he faded into pixels. Damn pixels. Pixels in the real world, not on my computer screen. I didn't know if I was happy or if I was upset. I looked around and everyone was now staring at me too, just because Eugene was now associating with me. People had backed away from us. They were probably afraid. I would be too if I didn't know the full context. I looked back at Eugene and I placed my hand on his. I really don't know, but I'm glad that you're okay. I tried to smile. Look, I'm sorry that was probably gruesome for you to see. Eugene stroked my cheek with his thumb slightly, which eased my nerves just slightly more. He took a shaky breath, now staring at the turf between our feet. I can't believe Solstice is already here. His hushed tone was full of disbelief, yet acceptance at the same time. He knew this was coming. It was just a matter of when. I shook my head. Me neither. He looked at my face again. We've got to figure out how to stop them. Yeah, we can do this. Eugene smiled slightly at me, and then he let go of my face. I'm sorry to all of you about this unexpected event. Eugene said this loudly so that mostly everyone could hear his words. However, we're safe now. Everything's okay. I heard murmurs from the crowd in response, and again, no one dared to say a word. Fear and uncertainty hung in the air, draping over every single one of us like a blanket. Eugene looked back at me, his nerves showcasing perfectly his expression. What do I do? You don't have to do anything. You proved that you're a good guy, per se. Listen, they're afraid. I would be too, if I didn't know you. Give it time to warm up you. At least I think they will. Eugene nodded and then rested his head on my shoulder while it felt like the whole world was just watching us. I saw some staff and teachers whispering to each other in the corner of the field, trying desperately to figure out how to handle the situation. How do you even handle this situation? Yeah, this would be something new. I don't think anybody would know exactly what to do about seeing two video game characters have a fight. One of them getting killed and bleeding pixels out, and then just vaporizing into the wind. That would be very awkward for sure. I have no idea. An alien fight takes place on your school grounds and you have no evidence. The best I can do for you is wish you good luck on at that point. Some other kids were running around to find their friends to make sure they were okay, including all the people checking on the senior boy whose life had flashed before his eyes. I can imagine that poor kid would probably crapped himself right before Eugene showed up. He was doubled over, his hands just covering his face. I thought that he might be crying. Other people were trying to turn on their phones again, but it was like no availability. Kylie had literally sucked out all the power out of everything. I really couldn't believe it all. It was just inconceivable. 2 days, and the truth was already out. Damn! Story's getting good now. And it is really well written. I will say that. Like the English grammar of this particular dev or developer is really well done. I mentioned at the start of the video today that sometimes it's a little bit cheesy and predictable. Yeah, it is, but the writing here is still really well done, and it's a lot of fun as well. So that's what I say. I'm really enjoying it. It's not like there's a lot of misspelled words or grammar that's really bad or something like that. No, not at all. It's really well written. It's a fun little thing. I mean, obviously it's fictional. Um, just kind of make believe like Spider-Man or anything else. But I think that's why it's fun. Oh, it looks like you're getting a message from the system player. Would you like to read Sadie's journal? Yes. Sadie's journal, chapter 2, electricity. At Eugene is the LMOL Sadie Stellar themed fan account on Instagram. She requests fan art and memes about the game while simultaneously interacting with other players in the big open world RPG. She is the self-proclaimed biggest Eugene fan in fandom. Monster X, one of Sadie's favorite X-pop groups, six-member group under Starship Assignment. I feel like we've read this before. Stray Kids, one of Sadie's favorite K-pop groups. Scarlet, one of Sadie's best friends. Tons of tarot cards and other mythological items in her room. Scarlet always loves watching true crime and mystery themed shows and movies, but their guilty pleasure is watching Twilight and Heartstopper over and over again. Grace Vaughn, Sadie's other best friend, is the president of the writing club, and she's also in charge of the school newspaper and yearbook. She has a coffee addiction and goes to Starbucks to pick up iced coffee every day before school starts. That would add up. Grace also has a little brother that she loves very much. Meadows High School, Sadie, Grace, and Scarlett's High School, top of a grassy hill surrounded by trees. Overall, pretty good school, but the students and staff all agree that it needs to be remodeled. Yeah, it was kind of old. We saw some of the lockers fading and stuff like that. Heartstopper, one of Scarlett's guilty pleasures, originally a graphic novel series by Alice Oseman. It is now a series on Netflix starring Kit Connor and Joe Locke, who play Nick Nelson and Charlie Spring. Overall, an extremely heartwarming series that will never fail to make you smile. Kind of like this visual novel, right? Heartwarming and makes you smile. Kylie Pierce, the guy that's dead now, the Solstice Soldier. Kylie was born on the planet Malian and has lived there his whole life. People say all he cares about is one thing, his sister. Everything else is unknown due to the fact that he doesn't talk much to his other Solstice comrades. La Espada Moderata, this is the standard Solstice Soldier sword that Kylie named and customized himself. Translates to the Purple Blade. It's full of prime purple radiant energy and can easily blind you if you stare at it while it's powered up for too long. And then pixels is a sign that a stellar character is about to meet their end. These pixels pour out of wounds, and they flow in the direction of the nearest rift of the two realities. They are usually colored with the same shade as the person's blood. Eventually, when a stellar character dies, their entire body will turn into pixels, fading away into oblivion. Alright, excerpt 1. Um, don't really know what this is about. Let's close it. Chapter 3, Smoke. Thursday at 11:39 a.m. The rest of the week continued as normal after the football field incident, but it wasn't without its peculiarities. For a while, people kept their distance from Eugene and anyone associated with him, that means me. But after news started circulating that he was from Stellar, he became extremely popular. Of course, some people were still apprehensive, giving Eugene weird looks and distancing themselves from him in the hallway. But for the most part, his existence became a spectacle. I can imagine. People would not leave him alone with their questions and invites to hang out, and frankly, it was starting to get a little insane. Grace, Scarlett, and Eugene and I finally opted to eat lunch in my car every day since the waves of people coming inside the classroom we ate in was just way too overwhelming. At one point, Miss Parr had to lock the door so that the crowd of people outside couldn't get in. Yeah, that's a little bit insane. It was literally crazy. I had never seen anything like it, and I definitely wasn't expecting this sort of outcome. Damn it, keep doing that. Another peculiarity is that I discovered that Eugene can heal himself by eating food. Sounds like a video game. It was a core component of the open world RPG Stellar, so I wasn't entirely surprised that it was still a feasible way for him to tend to his wounds. Yeah, even here on Earth, that's kind of weird. However, it was insane seeing it happen in real life, exactly. Honestly, everything that involved Eugene was a little insane. I wondered what doctors worldwide would say about this. No kidding. Wouldn't that be nice if you have like you're out in the garage and you accidentally saw your hand off with a jigsaw or something like that, or saw your thumb off or whatever? Oh, just eat an apple and you're fine. The blood stops immediately. Your thumb grows back. Your hand grows back. Whatever you lost. That'd be pretty amazing. The pineapple also, or not the pineapple. When I was thinking about food, and I was thinking about food, I think I'm craving right now. I love pineapple. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I think that's why I said the pineapple. The principal, not the pineapple. The principal also called Eugene down to his office to interrogate him on the matter, and Eugene decided to try to tell him the truth, since literally everyone at our school now knew about his origins. That makes sense. Without any evidence, the principal was sort of backed into a corner in terms of getting the authorities involved. Yeah, what are you going to say to the cops, huh? Cops are going to think you're a madman and put you in a white straitjacket. Instead, he just reached out to the company that made Stellar, Sunshine Games, detailing the matter and questioning them. So far, they haven't written back at all, which I find extremely suspicious because I had emailed them before about bugs in the game and heard back almost immediately. That's kind of funny. I have to look into that company as soon as possible. Sunshine Games. I'll have to remember that in case we have another quiz. Eugene ended up filling Grace and Scarlett in on the whole situation, and they were stunned to know that he really was the Eugene from the video game Stellar. Grace made a joke saying that she called it, which technically she really did. Yeah, she had said it really sarcastically and teasing in a teasing tone in the last video. But yeah, she did call it. Scarlett was busy coming up with theories on how all this could be possible, but none of them seemed quite right. I wanted to know what was happening as well. I wanted to know what could have happened that made the impossible possible. And with my newfound suspicion of Sunshine Games, I suddenly knew where to look. In terms of other news, I was able to wash Eugene's clothes secretly without my parents noticing, which was indeed a miracle in itself. His black sweatshirt was a little ripped from the battle, so I let him borrow my favorite oversized hoodie. Well, that's nice of her. He'd also been borrowing my baggy shirts and pants at night for pajamas, and it was sufficient enough. But I think it would definitely do Eugene some good if we go out and buy him some new clothes. Yeah, remember, he's staying with her, like sleeping in her room or whatever. If her parents find out, yeah, that's going to be awkward. And somehow not make my parents suspicious, exactly. Despite all the sneakiness that I was going to have to do, it made me happy that I had a company, or that I had company, uh, all the time and now at home, even though I'm a huge introvert. This reminds me of when my older sister, Catherine, was still living here. She went out to college recently, but it feels like my family has a piece missing now that she's gone. It's kind of sad, and that happens all the time in our real life, huh? I wonder what she would think about all of this. Would I even ever tell her? I mean, I could never hide anything from Catherine. She knows everything about me, probably even more than my parents do. Showing Eugene all my hobbies and interests always made me happy, and since he isn't even from Earth, it's all new and exciting to him as well. Pretty cool. Seeing his face light up in awe as we watched music videos or nerding out together over action movies just fills me with so much joy. In return, he'd tell me stories about Adoni and his friends at the Stellar Academy there. I knew all the characters from Stellar already, but he had stories and details that I had never even heard of before. He told me about his best friend Walter, who used to live on the planet Pax before it was destroyed by Solstice. He told me about how Walter hated peanuts and chocolate together, and Eugene said he thought hating that combination was a sin. Yeah, who the hell doesn't like peanuts and chocolate together, or peanut butter and chocolate together? I mean, who the hell doesn't like a Reese's peanut butter cup? Or, I mean, just chocolate, even chocolate peanut butter ice cream is amazing. Chocolate peanut butter shake. I mean, yeah, just chocolate and peanut butter. There's only two foods that I like better myself together, and that would be steak and eggs. I think that steak and eggs is the perfect combination of food. Yeah, I mean, I like pineapple on pizza as well. I know a lot of people that discuss them or whatever, but yeah, the two foods that I love together more than anything is probably steak and eggs. Like, you have a steak and egg. We used to have this mom and pop shop near here that made like deli sandwiches, kind of like Subway, except a lot better. And they used to specialize in like steak sandwiches and stuff like that. And they used to make the best steak and egg sandwich. Man, it was so good. We used to go there. It's kind of expensive, so we used to go there like once a month, once every couple of months or whatever. But sadly, it's no longer in business here. They shut down, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I am left without a place I can go to make steak and egg sandwiches. So I have to rely on myself for that. I have to do that soon. Yeah, craving steak and egg sandwich right now. It'd go perfectly with this visual novel. I'm just saying. But then I'd have my mouth full of food and I couldn't read it. So yeah, why don't you guys have a steak and egg sandwich and let me know how it is while I read the rest of this. Yeah, I don't know how you can not like peanuts and chocolate together. That's crazy. His friend Walter is nuts. That was the one thing they couldn't agree on, apparently, was chocolate and peanut butter. He told me about the head mistress of Stellar Academy, head mistress Domino, and how she actually had a secret hobby of crocheting and knitting, despite her aura being really intense and intimidating. He told me about Lena, his first character, the first character you receive in the game, the main character, Lena. He told me that she was the one who convinced Headmistress Domino to renovate Stellar Academy from an adventuring and flight training school to a full-fledged combat training school that fights against Solstice. He told me that he couldn't thank Elena enough after that. He said that she single-handedly gave him the ability to avenge his planet, and that meant everything to him. I could see why she would be a hero to him. On Thursday, Scarlett was sick, and Grace had some yearbook work to do during lunch, so it was just Eugene and I in my car that day. I was about to take a bite of the mac and cheese I had brought when I heard a knock on my window. Oh, wow, who's this? We unlocked a memory. Look at the blue eyes and blue hair there. I turned slowly towards the sound, and came face to face with a girl. Just a guess, is this Lena? We'll see how predictable this visual novel is when we'll see if this is actually Lena. Now, we saw her in an image before, but that was just like black and white. It didn't show any hair color, eye color, or anything like that. I'm just guessing this is Lena, but we'll see. She had dyed blue hair, blue eyes, and freckles. She also had a gorgeous shade of red lipstick on and green gel nails. You know, see the green nails? Yeah, I love the music. She looked a little nervous, but even so, she said, "Can I talk to you guys, confidentially?" It sounded muffled through the glass. I looked at Eugene for his opinion, and he just shrugged. Very helpful, I say. He laughs. Sorry, I don't know. Well, this must not be Lena, or I think he would have an answer. Hear her out, maybe? Now that's some feedback I can get behind. I began to roll down my window, and the girl looked more and more relieved as I did so. Sadie, I say, hey, do you need something? Oh yeah, sorry to bother you both, but Adrian wanted me to invite Eugene to his 17th birthday party. She handed a green invitation through the window. Eugene took it and began reading it over. He requested for Eugene specifically, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you came as well, Sadie. That's when I got hit with a wave of an unknown feeling. It was so odd that I didn't know this girl's name, but she knew mine. I think I had completely underestimated the impact that associating with Eugene all the time had on my school image now. Yeah, so it seems like this girl is not Lena from his home planet, but it looks like this is a girl from her high school that she doesn't even really know. But now that she's interacting with a video game superstar, everybody knows who she is. That's cool. Makes sense. Everyone knew my name. I was not used to that. Thanks. That's very kind of you. I finally got that out after a solid 10 seconds of awkward silence. Well, give it some thought, okay? The party is tomorrow night at 7. I won't tell anyone where you're parked, by the way. You can trust me. Eugene says, thanks so much. I shut the window as the girl walked away from my car, and then I let out the biggest sigh of all time. This is crazy. It's like, this is crazy. We've just been invited to a party! I can see him saying that. Adrian's 17th birthday party. This Friday, 7 p.m. Yep, it's Thursday at noon right now at lunch. Location Adrian's house on Southwest Noir Lane. Eugene held the invitation up to my face. Adrian's 17th birthday party had been printed on a fancy font on the green cardstock and lettering shimmering in a pretty gold color. I had heard of Adrian before. I heard he was the quarterback on our school's football team, but it was never really flaunted because our football team kind of really sucks. Oh, that feels bad. However, he was still what you would consider popular. Eugene, I don't know about this. I'm not the biggest fan of parties, and everyone there is going to be people from Adrian's friends group, which is like extremely intimidating, you know? Plus, I think at least one of us needs to focus on getting you back home. You should go without me. Eugene looked shocked. What? Sadie, I'm not gonna go without you. Eugene grabbed my hand as he said that. He had held my hand many times before, but every time he did, it took my breath away instantly. Hey, I promise you, everything will be okay. I'll be right by your side the whole time, I swear. I secretly wanted to spend more time with Eugene, but my moral compass was pointing directly at an issue at hand, and I could not ignore this. I shook my head. What about getting you back to Stellar? What about Solstice? Eugene sighed and let go of my hand gently. I know that there are more important things to be focusing on right now, and you're actually probably right. Going to this party could be a really bad idea. However, and I know this sounds dumb, but it's just so nice to feel like a regular teenager for once in my life. I mean, this definition of regular is actually irregular because I literally killed a Solstice soldier in front of everyone at our school. And everyone knows that I'm apparently fictional now. Eugene ran a hand through his hair, and I could see the previous anxiety he showcased when he saw my poster returning with a vengeance. Sadie, I feel like I'm back on Adoni here, with all the people I care about again, living my life in peace. I just want to enjoy it. It's understandable. It's selfish, I know. Eugene was staring at his lap, avoiding making any eye contact. Guilt stirred in my gut as I read his feelings like a book. I felt his pain deeply, but I was also scared that the more Solstice enemies could show up at any second and destroy the world in an instant. I felt so torn. Oh, that's not selfish, Eugene. I get it. I know your story. I'm worried, that's all. I know, but look, I promise you, nothing bad's gonna happen. Just one night of fun, okay? That's all. And then we can fully focus on getting me back to Stellar. I said nothing. It felt like my brain was being pulled apart right now. Please, Sadie. Sadie. Yeah, please, Sadie. He was begging now, his hands intertwined in a praying motion. Aw, that's adorable right there. He's actually praying to her, putting his hands together. Please, like a little kid. Wow. I felt like I shouldn't be the one making the decision as someone who is literally infatuated with this man. How the hell can I say no to him? Especially after that. Yeah, I have to admit that was pretty adorable. Yeah, and I'm a guy, and I thought that was adorable. A straight guy, and I thought that was adorable. I just couldn't say no to him. I was caving, and I was caving fast. Someone stop me before I agree. Fine, we can go. He smiles. No one was there to stop me from agreeing. Well, he's happy, that's what's important, right? The love of your life, the video game character that came into your real world, is happy. Eugene immediately smiled wide at my response and pulled me into a hug across the gearshift in the middle of both of our seats. I loved hugs, and Eugene had the best ones. I swear just receiving a hug from him was almost enough to ease my stress and my fears completely. But this time, the sinking feeling was not going away. Uh-oh. After we broke away from each other, Eugene reached for my hand once again. I promise, Sadie, this will be fun. We'll do things that people at parties do, you know? What, get drunk? I mean, I saw people dancing and drinking in that movie we watched the other night. So we'll probably do that, right? Yep, drinking. Yeah, we'll do all the party stuff that party people do. I laughed, and Eugene laughed along with me. Seeing him so happy also made me feel slightly better, but it was still not enough. Like I said earlier, I hate parties. I always get so overwhelmed and dizzy every time I go to one, and those were like mini house parties. This was actually a big party. This is the high school quarterback's party. His birthday party. This is a popular party. I had never been to one of those. I am terrified of this event. For way more than one reason. Yep. Understandable. Guys, with that, I think that's a good stopping point here. I wanted to go a little bit further, but I'm afraid if I read a few more minutes, I'm afraid that we'll be stopping right in the middle of something. So I think we're going to go ahead and stop this as part 3. And we'll be picking this up probably tomorrow night, as I'll be off work tomorrow night as well. And we'll be live streaming the Moonshine number 283, which will be part 4 of Stellar 1. Guys, this visual novel is well worth the price tag. I'm enjoying this. I feel like we're probably not even halfway through, and I'm starting to get a feeling that this visual novel might have a sad ending when they figure out a way for Eugene to get back to his home planet, Stellar. And who knows? That'll be interesting to see. Maybe they'll figure out a way that he's going to live on Earth forever, and maybe him and Sadie will get married and have kids and live happily ever after. But something tells me that's not going to be what happens. Something tells me they're going to figure out a way to get him home to his home planet in his own video game, and it's going to rip our hearts out. But time will tell. We'll see if it does end sad or how it ends in the future. And part 4 will be part of that future, and we'll do that real soon here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video series so far, this visual novel. If you're, watching these videos over on my YouTube channel. And if you're on Twitch and you have not yet checked out my YouTube channel, be sure you check out my YouTube channel by the same name as ZachStore99. Guys, I am ZachStore99. It's been a pleasure reading this visual novel so far. I'm glad I'm able to share it with a few people. And I want to go and thank you for being here and watching this. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.